retail restaurant building on the corner of Mount Vernon and Shanley Dunwoody, the old car wash. And the property is zoned C1, so it allows for the use. But because of the size of the property, it's about a half acre, and the request from the restaurant tenants, we're in asking for 4 sloughs. One has to do with the height of the wall, and I think under the current code it allows for 12 feet. We're asking for 14, and really that's just a practical matter of getting the HVAC and all your ductwork in the ceiling. The second code reads that on a building you have to have 90-degree angles, quarters. And what we've done is we've pulled the building up snug on the corner. So you got street front retail, but because of that, we've got a mitered corner. So it'll sit up nice and tight on the corner with the parking around it. And to kind of give you an idea, I had a hard time with my architect, he helped me a little bit, but this would be a door, maybe I'm not sure if it's going to be a faux door or an actual door in the retail space. It all depends on how our tenants lay out. And then we've got along Mount Vernon, Michael was telling me, so it's a 12-foot sidewalk in the city code, big sidewalk. But because of the way Mount Vernon runs and the way the property is situated, we've got a short, and I don't know if that's 8 or 10 or so feet, but there's a portion of the 12-foot sidewalk that will be 10.5 feet. So we've got to ask for a variance there. And then under the current code with 4,470 square feet, it only allows for 14 parks. And so we're asking for 35. Just the restaurants need it, and we're actually getting pushed back a little bit on that from the restaurant guys. But we've actually got a letter of intent from one group right now. But what we envision is anywhere from an 1,800 to a 3,000 square foot restaurant along with some kind of retail.
Bill?
Yeah.
Unlike the last applicant, you actually seem to have some tenants lined up.
Yeah.
Who?
I can't say right now. As you know, up the street, Wells Fargo, Jeff Kirker and his group. I mean, we're in some ways competing with the same guys, but there's enough.
Can you tell us whether or not it's a
It's not a bank.
It's not a bank.
you did specify food service?
That's right.
National chain or a local owner?
Both. Yeah, so we've had national groups looking at it, and we've had local franchises. It's too small for a chef-driven restaurant, so it's going to be something. I've lived in Dunwoody since '75. I moved back 19 years ago with my family. I moved here originally with my parents, so I'm actually in Village Mill. So I've got a household looking at the property, saying, "Dad, what's it going to be?" But give you some. I mean, so I did the leasing for the Tide across the street, and when we had that. BurgerFi would love to be in Dunwoody, Pure would like to be in Dunwoody, Chipotle would love to be in Dunwoody, just to give you some idea of some of those folks that are looking.
But no drive-through. Right.
No drive-through.
Right.
No drive-through. I mean, the C1 allows for the drive-through, but to really maximize the building, what we'd love to do is have some outdoor seating out here along, with a 12-foot sidewalk, you'd think. But so Laurel, David called me last week. Now I'm trying to remember what she told me. But there's something within the code that says we may be prevented from doing that. I don't know. We'll have to look into it. Maybe
I bet you could get permission.
Yeah, I would think. I would hope. Because I think it'd be really a nice asset. And it would sure be a whole lot better than that car wash we've all looked at.
Given that this is an old gas station site, what remediation do you expect?
None whatsoever. So they've got a no further action letter. Yeah. So those tanks were pulled out probably back when BP bought it, when it was right at 66.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get those tanks out within like 90 days now. You can't leave them in the ground anymore.
That's good.
I forget when all that code happened, but yeah, they've got a no further action letter. It's a group out of Miami.
Who owns that property?
Yeah, it's a REIT. I want to say it's called Petroleum Realty. I think that's right, out of Miami.
Across the street, the gas station across the street owned or did something?
They did. So when the Amoco, BP now, they purchased the Phillips 66 just to secure the territory, and then I think somewhere along the way, this Petroleum Realty bought a bunch of gas stations, that was one of them.
Does Goodchild the dentist still own the parcels to the south of that on Chamblee Dunwoody?
So it's not Goodchild, it is Lee, he's across the street from
Is it?
Plunkett. There you go, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's just no chance of an assemblage?
I'll try. We made him a very aggressive offer a few years ago, and he's just not interested, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. Other questions?
How many parking spots? You might have said it.
35. Yeah, code allows for 14. Our meeting with planning went well, and there didn't seem to be a lot of resistance. I mean, people understand it, and I think the city of Dunwoody, people want restaurants. We'd like to have some more restaurants. In order to do that, you got to be able to park it. And it's just, I called Lee because I was hoping I could work out something with him with either with ballet in the evenings, and he really wasn't interested in doing that either. But I have talked to the guy that owns this next door, maybe doing after 6 parking.
Is that the tire place?
No.
No.
No, that's the
The
eye doctor. That's the optometrist, yeah.
Briggs.
Briggs, right.
That's right. But I think it's a great opportunity. It's going to be a good looking building, obviously fits in with the overlay, and we've done Woody's architecture, and we're very excited.
Today, it's 100% impervious, right? I mean,
That's
the entire thing is paved. What are we going to end up with in terms of landscaping and all that?
Let's see, we didn't bring the landscape plan, but we'll end up at 80%
Okay.
impervious or less.
I did
Yeah. So we'll take that old Bradford pear that's kind of falling down in the Chamblee Dunwoody out.
That would be nice.
We've got a beautiful landscape plan, lots of grass.
Okay.
It
Shirley?
really is.
And then Shirley and then Jeff.
Where will the egress and the exits be? Onto which streets or onto
Sure.
both?
Sure, so Chamblee Dunwoody's a right in, right out, so it's full access now. Then we'll go to right in, right out, and then we'll have full access on Mount Vernon.
So you only need variances?
Correct.
Jeff?
No, she's answered my
Okay.
question.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you guys very much. We appreciate you
Thank
being here. Thanks.
Okay, folks, that's it for the public
We'll look forward
section
to
of the
email.
Dunwoody Homeowners Association meeting. Next section is board only. Thanks for visiting.